These are elusive readings. And of course, we're dealing with the Gospel of John, which is very mystical. And in this section we have for reading today deals with the unity of the Trinity, Jesus and the Father being one in the power of the Spirit. The first reading comes from Isaiah the prophet. And our difficulty is that we're jumping from one prophet to the next. We had Ezekiel yesterday, and we have Isaiah today, and we're moving around. So let me connect in a very brief moment the teaching of the gospel and the teaching of Isaiah. Isaiah comes about 700 years before Christ. He comes at a crucial time in the life of the people of Israel. There was great division. The country, or the kingdom of Israel, was divided into north and south, and when it was divided, it became weak. Division made it weak. And then they were overcome by the Assyrians, and the people of Israel were taken into exile, and they went to the Babylonian exile for about 70 years. They lost the temple, they lost everything. And they lost it all because somehow they were divided. When they were divided not only among themselves, but they were divided in the presence of God. Now we come to a gospel reading here, which in John's mystical language is very difficult to capture in a short time. He does deal with the unity between the Father and himself, Jesus speaking, and teaches us that the Trinity is a sign of oneness. It's a sign of profound, infinite relationship. Therefore, three persons become one because of this extraordinary sense of oneness, of bond, of belonging between Father, Son, and Spirit. In the human context, both readings mean that when we have unity, God is present. God is present in unity. Division, war, violence, selfishness, all signs of the absence of God. Look at the Ukraine today, the sense of violence and destruction and abuse of people, and the extraordinary assault on the dignity of individuals is a sign of the absence of God. For us, in our journey through Lent, the sign of God's presence is compassion, it's belonging, it's forgiveness, it's charity, it's to bless the other person. That makes God present. It's a cheerfulness, it's a sense of optimism, it's a sense that God is present in us. And God becomes present in an extraordinary way when we have unity. So to live out the sense of God's presence in unity today, it would be good for us in our Lenten journey to forgive somebody today, to overlook somebody's weakness, to find something positive to say rather than negative about a person, to call up somebody who is lonely or empty or would like to receive a call, to touch somebody in healing or encouragement. This is the sense of unity to make God present. So keep this in mind. It might lead us to begin the journey of the day in prayer here to say, how is the Spirit calling us to witness the unity of God in our lives? I know when you get to the gospel, it's very mystical, it's elusive, but if you bring it down to the human experience, you'll find that there is real value, and there's something enfleshed about this. When we take the gospel, we say we'll put it into action, we'll make it real, we'll bring it to life in the manner in which we live just this day. This teaching It's not for tomorrow. This teaching is for today. Tomorrow, we'll have another teaching. But today, we are called to be ministers, disciples of unity. So make a phone call, bless somebody, be generous, give a gift, say a good word, lift somebody's spirit, make God present in unity, not in division, where God is absent or diminished. We pause now for a moment of prayer. And in a special way, of course, we're all carrying the people of Ukraine in our prayers and see the evil of violence and destruction. It is so transparent and so obvious about the absence of God in greed and in violence. So we'll pray for the victims in these moments, the victims of the absence of God.